Hey there, friends. If you're living with diabetes, you know that bread can often feel like a guilty pleasure you have to avoid. But what if I told you that you can enjoy delicious bread without the worry? Today, we're diving into the top 5 breads every diabetic should use to help lower blood sugar and keep your energy levels steady. Imagine biting into a slice of bread that not only satisfies your cravings, but also supports your health goals. Sounds amazing, right? In this video, we'll explore the best options that are high in fiber, low in refined sugars, and designed to keep your blood sugar steady. Whether you're a bread lover or just looking for healthier alternatives, this guide is packed with valuable insights that can transform your meals. So grab a seat, hit that like button, and let's embark on this delicious journey together. Your taste buds and your blood sugar will thank you. Let's kick things off with Ezekiel bread. This isn't your average loaf. It's a game changer for anyone managing diabetes. What makes Ezekiel bread so special? It's made from sprouted grains, which means it digests more slowly than regular bread. This results in a glycemic index of around 36, significantly lower than white or even whole wheat bread. Each slice is packed with about 3 to 4 grams of fiber and 5 grams of protein, making it a filling option that helps stabilize your blood sugar levels. Now you might be wondering, why are sprouted grains so beneficial? When grains sprout, their starches break down into simpler, more digestible forms, and fiber becomes more accessible. This means your body absorbs glucose gradually, which is a win for blood sugar control. Ezekiel bread is made from a blend of whole grains like wheat, barley, millet, spelt, lentils, and soybeans, providing more nutrients and protein than standard bread. Plus, it contains no added sugars or artificial ingredients, which is a huge bonus. But here's a little tip. Always toast your Ezekiel bread. Toasting can lower its glycemic impact even further. And since it doesn't have preservatives, it's best to store it in the fridge or freezer to keep it fresh. You can even freeze slices and toast them directly when you need them, which also increases resistant starch, a good thing for slowing digestion. One common mistake people make is eating Ezekiel bread plain or with high-carb spreads like jam, which can still raise blood sugar levels. Instead, try pairing it with protein and healthy fats to slow digestion even more. Some fantastic combinations include avocado, eggs, nut butter, smoked salmon, or cheese. These pairings balance the carbs in the bread and help keep your blood sugar steady. Remember, portion control is key. One slice per meal is usually enough for most diabetics. Too much can still lead to a significant carb intake. In summary, Ezekiel bread is an excellent choice for diabetics because it digests slowly, has no added sugars, is high in fiber and protein, and helps maintain steady blood sugar levels. Just remember to toast it, store it properly, and pair it with healthy fats and proteins. Next up is 100% whole grain rye bread. This bread is a fantastic choice for diabetics because it digests slowly and doesn't spike blood sugar levels like regular wheat bread. With a glycemic index ranging from 45 to 55, it allows for a more gradual rise in blood sugar. Each slice typically contains about 15 to 18 grams of carbs, but thanks to its fiber content, around 3 to 5 grams per slice, it helps slow down glucose absorption, keeping insulin levels stable and preventing sudden highs and crashes. Rye flour is less processed than wheat flour, meaning it retains more of its natural fiber, nutrients, and complex carbs. Unlike many breads that use finely milled flour, rye bread is often made with coarse ground or whole rye grains, making it harder for your body to break down quickly. This is a significant reason why it's better for blood sugar control. Additionally, many rye breads undergo a natural sourdough fermentation process, which further lowers the glycemic impact and enhances digestibility. This fermentation also promotes gut health, which is a bonus for overall metabolic function. When choosing rye bread, the ingredient list is crucial. The best rye breads should contain just whole rye flour, water, and salt, nothing more. Unfortunately, many store-bought rye breads sneak in wheat flour, sugar, or additives that negate their benefits. Always check the label to ensure you're getting authentic rye bread, not just rye-flavored wheat bread. Some brands may also add molasses or honey, which can increase sugar content, so it's best to avoid those. To get the most out of rye bread, toasting it can enhance its benefits, as toasting slightly lowers its glycemic impact. Since it doesn't contain preservatives, store it in the fridge or freezer to keep it fresh. You can take out one slice at a time and toast it straight from the freezer, making it a convenient option while maintaining its blood sugar-friendly properties. Even though rye bread is a better choice, portion size still matters. One slice per meal is usually enough. You don't want to overdo the carbs. Pairing it with healthy fats and proteins will help it digest even slower. Instead of eating it plain, try topping it with avocado, eggs, nut butter, or smoked salmon. These combinations not only balance the carbs but also add nutrients and keep you feeling full longer without spiking your blood sugar. It's worth noting that rye does contain gluten, though usually in smaller amounts than wheat. If you have gluten sensitivity or celiac disease, rye bread may not be suitable for you. As with any store-bought bread, some versions may include preservatives and additives. So stick with traditional whole grain rye that has a short, clean ingredient list. In simple terms, rye bread digests slowly, keeps blood sugar steady, and is one of the best choices for diabetics. Just ensure it's real whole grain rye, toast it, store it properly, and pair it with healthy fats or proteins for the best benefits. Coming in at number 3 is sourdough bread. This unique bread has a lower glycemic index than regular bread, typically around 50 to 55, making it less likely to cause blood sugar spikes. The fermentation process involved in making sourdough breaks down some of the starches, reducing the overall carbohydrate impact. A slice usually contains about 15 to 20 grams of carbs, but due to its high resistant starch content, it digests slower than traditional bread. The fiber content in sourdough can vary based on the type of flour used, with whole grain sourdough offering more fiber than white sourdough, making it a better option for diabetics. The fermentation process also reduces gluten content, making it easier to digest and potentially improving gut health. Interestingly, sourdough affects insulin response differently from other breads. The fermentation process lowers phytic acid, allowing your body to absorb more nutrients and process carbs more efficiently. This means you don't need as much insulin to handle the same amount of carbs compared to regular bread. When it comes to choosing sourdough, the type of flour matters. Whole wheat, rye, and spelt sourdough are better choices than white sourdough, which still has a higher glycemic load. Authentic sourdough is fermented using natural wild yeast and bacteria, which enhances digestion and nutrient absorption. In contrast, many store-bought versions are commercially processed and made with added yeast, skipping the long fermentation process and losing many of the benefits. Always check the ingredient list for authenticity. The best sourdough should contain just flour, water, salt, and a natural starter. Some commercial sourdough breads may contain added sugars, preservatives, and refined flours, making them no better than regular bread. Pairing sourdough with healthy fats and proteins can further slow digestion and keep blood sugar stable. Great options include avocado, eggs, smoked salmon, cheese, or nut butter. Avoid eating it plain or with high-carb toppings like jam. Toasting sourdough improves its texture, but doesn't significantly change its glycemic impact. Proper storage is key, as real sourdough has no preservatives. It's best kept in the fridge or freezer. Freezing and then toasting can slightly increase resistant starch, which is beneficial for blood sugar control. A single slice per meal is ideal for portion control. Even though sourdough is a better option, too much can still lead to excessive carb intake. Sourdough does contain gluten, but due to fermentation, it's often easier to digest than regular wheat bread. However, it's not gluten-free, so it's not suitable for those with celiac disease. Avoid store-bought versions with preservatives and artificial additives, as these can negate the benefits of traditional fermentation. The best sourdough is homemade or sourced from an artisan bakery that follows the proper fermentation process for maximum health benefits. At number 4, we have flaxseed or chia seed bread. This bread is a game changer for diabetics, as it is low in carbohydrates and boasts a very low glycemic index. Each slice typically contains just 3 to 10 grams of carbs, depending on the recipe, and most of these carbs come from fiber rather than digestible starches, meaning it has minimal impact on blood sugar. The high fiber content, around 5 to 8 grams per slice, slows glucose absorption, preventing spikes. Both flax seeds and chia seeds are rich in soluble and insoluble fiber, which improves digestion, supports gut health, and enhances insulin sensitivity. Additionally, flax and chia seeds contain alpha-linolenic acid (ALA) and omega-3 fatty acids, which help reduce inflammation and insulin resistance. Unlike traditional grain-based breads, flax and chia seed bread have little to no impact on insulin spikes, making them ideal for blood sugar control. The flour used in these breads is usually nut or seed-based, such as almond flour, coconut flour, or flaxseed meal, which are naturally low in carbs and high in healthy fats. Since they are not grain-based, they digest much slower than traditional wheat flour. Most flax and chia breads are not fermented, but they still have a lower glycemic impact due to their high fiber and fat content. When selecting flax or chia seed bread, look for versions with simple ingredients like flax seeds, chia seeds, eggs, and nut flour. Some commercial varieties may include refined starches or wheat flour, which can reduce their benefits. Always check for hidden sugars like honey, agave, or malt syrup, which can unnecessarily raise blood sugar levels. Flax and chia bread is naturally rich in protein and healthy fats, providing around 6 to 10 grams of protein and 8 to 12 grams of fat per slice. This combination makes it filling and helps stabilize blood sugar for longer periods. Pairing it with additional healthy fats and proteins like avocado, eggs, nut butter, or cheese enhances its benefits for diabetics. Avoid high-sugar spreads like jam, as they can counteract the positive effects. Since these breads contain natural oils from seeds, they can spoil faster, so it's best to store them in the fridge or freezer to maintain freshness. Portion control is more flexible than with traditional bread due to its low-carb nature, but 1 to 2 slices per meal is typically sufficient. Unlike regular bread, flax and chia bread is often gluten-free, but some versions may include wheat-based flour, so it's essential to check labels. Avoid varieties with preservatives and artificial additives, as real flax or chia bread should only have a few whole food ingredients. The best options are homemade or high-quality store-bought versions with minimal ingredients, making them one of the best choices for diabetics looking to manage blood sugar naturally. Finally, we have almond flour or coconut flour bread. These options are completely different from regular bread because they don't come from grains. This means they lack the fast-digesting starches that can spike blood sugar levels. Most slices contain only 2 to 6 grams of total carbs, compared to 15 to 20 grams in regular whole wheat bread. Both almond and coconut flour are packed with fiber and healthy fats, which slow down digestion and help keep blood sugar stable. The glycemic index of almond and coconut flour bread is incredibly low, around 15 to 30, meaning your body absorbs it much more slowly than wheat-based bread. Coconut flour has a higher fiber content, making it even better at slowing glucose absorption, while almond flour is rich in healthy fats, which help keep you full for longer. These breads don't use traditional wheat flour, making them naturally gluten-free and easier to digest, especially for those with gluten sensitivity. Since almond and coconut flours absorb more liquid than wheat flour, they create a denser, more filling bread that keeps you satisfied without causing blood sugar crashes. Most almond and coconut flour breads aren't fermented, but since they don't contain refined starches, they already have a much lower impact on blood sugar. The best versions have only a few simple ingredients: almond flour, coconut flour, eggs, and butter or coconut oil. However, some store-bought varieties add starches or sweeteners to improve texture, which can undo their benefits. Always check labels for hidden sugars like honey, maple syrup, or tapioca starch, which can still spike blood sugar. These breads are high in protein, 6 to 10 grams per slice, and healthy fats, 8 to 14 grams per slice, making them filling, blood sugar friendly, and great for sustained energy. To enhance their benefits, pair them with healthy fats and proteins, such as avocado, nut butter, or cream cheese, or enjoy them with eggs or smoked salmon to further balance blood sugar levels. Because almond and coconut flours contain natural oils, these breads spoil faster than regular bread. It's best to store them in the fridge or freezer, and if you freeze them, toast slices before eating to keep their texture fresh. 1 to 2 slices per meal is usually sufficient. Unlike wheat-based breads, these options are completely gluten-free, making them a great choice for individuals with gluten intolerance or celiac disease. As with any commercial bread, some versions may contain preservatives or artificial additives, so the best choice is homemade or high-quality, minimally processed brands. Their low-carb, high-fiber, and healthy fat content make them one of the best bread options for diabetics. So there you have it. 5 of the best breads for diabetics that won't send your blood sugar on a wild ride. The right bread can make a significant difference in keeping you full, energized, and in control of your glucose levels. But now the real question is, which one will you try first? Are you team sprouted grain with Ezekiel bread, or are you leaning toward a low-carb option like almond or flax bread? Drop a comment and let me know your thoughts. Now let's shift gears and discuss the worst breads for diabetics. White bread and enriched wheat bread are notorious for being high in refined carbohydrates, with most slices containing 15 to 25 grams of fast-digesting carbs and almost no fiber. Their glycemic index is alarmingly high, ranging from 70 to 90, meaning they can rapidly spike blood sugar levels. The lack of fiber leads to quick digestion, resulting in sharp insulin spikes and crashes. These breads are made with highly processed wheat flour, stripping away most nutrients and leaving behind mostly starch. They are not fermented and undergo heavy processing, making them one of the worst choices for diabetics. The ingredient list often includes bleached flour, added sugars, and preservatives to extend shelf life. Multi-grain bread may sound healthy, but if it's not 100% whole grain, it can be just as detrimental as white bread. Many versions contain refined wheat flour as the first ingredient, meaning the small amount of grains included doesn't make it a better option. The fiber content is low unless labeled as whole grain, so most varieties still cause blood sugar spikes. Many multigrain breads are processed rather than naturally fermented, reducing their nutritional benefits. Some brands add molasses or honey to enhance flavor, increasing the sugar content without diabetics realizing it. Always check labels. If whole grain or whole wheat isn't the first ingredient, it's likely not a good choice. Sweetened breads like honey wheat or cinnamon raisin bread are among the worst for diabetics. While they may appear healthier, they often contain 5 to 10 grams of added sugar per slice, raising total carbs to 20 to 30 grams per serving. The glycemic index is high, causing blood sugar levels to rise rapidly. These breads are usually made with enriched white flour rather than whole grains, making them digest even faster. Since they are not fermented, they lack beneficial resistant starch. The ingredient list often includes high fructose corn syrup, cane sugar, or honey, making them worse than regular white bread. Soft, ultra-processed sandwich breads are designed for texture and shelf life, not nutrition. They often contain conditioners, preservatives, and artificial additives, making them heavily processed and lacking fiber. Most varieties contain 20 to 25 grams of carbs per slice with minimal fiber, meaning they spike blood sugar quickly. Many include hydrogenated oils, dough softeners, and emulsifiers, which can impact digestion and insulin function. These breads are rarely fermented and use fast-rise yeasts that don't break down starches. Most also contain gluten, but in a processed form that's harder for the body to digest. Diabetics should avoid these breads or pair them with high-fiber, high-protein foods to slow digestion. Even then, portion control is critical. If you eat one slice, balance it with healthy fats like avocado, nut butter, or eggs to reduce blood sugar spikes. Toasting does not significantly change its glycemic impact, but storing these breads in the fridge or freezer can prevent mold without relying on preservatives. Always check labels for added sugars, refined flours, and artificial ingredients, as these are signs of a poor bread choice for diabetics. By making informed choices about the bread you consume, you can enjoy your meals without compromising your health. Remember, the right bread can be a powerful ally in your journey to manage diabetes effectively.